You ready to rumble today, Johnny boy?
Oh yeah.
We got a special guest today that we're really excited about. We've been kicking the tires with this guy for a while, but first of all, I just want to welcome everybody back to the Working Class Podcast, the Armchair Fantasy Football Podcast. We are the Blue Collar Ballers. You can just check out our Facebook page at Armchair Fantasy Football, on Twitter at Armchair FF Pod. I'm on Twitter at Armchair Kingpin. I'm DJ, and my friend John here is on Twitter at John2977. You can email us at armchairfb@gmail.com. And you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean. You can find our videos on YouTube. Just search Armchair Fantasy Football Podcast. And you ready for today, man? I'm really excited about today.
Yeah, I can't wait to wrestle my way into this.
So, let me just introduce our guest. Guys, we got a super special guest for today who epitomizes everything we represent here at the Armchair Fantasy Football Podcast. That DIY mentality. This guy started Limitless Wrestling in 2015 at 18 years old. He built this thing up to one of the most popular independent wrestling companies in the country. Limitless has packed the Westbrook Armory and Portland Club all the way to the roof, man. I've been there. I've seen it. And they've done that on multiple occasions. In a little over a week, on September 6th, with a ridiculously stacked card, Limitless presents Know Your Enemy at the Portland Expo. It's going to be the first time at the Expo. Very exciting stuff for these guys. Limitless has nearly 500,000 subscribers on YouTube and rising. So, please welcome the kingpin of Limitless Wrestling, Randy Carver, to the Working Class Podcast. Randy, congratulations to you and your team on the huge debut at the Expo, man.
Thank you so much. What an intro that was, and I've been excited to join you guys for a while, so I'm excited to be.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Welcome aboard.
So, who's your favorite wrestler, Randy? Let me just ask that right out of the gate.
We going of all time?
We'll go Limitless. Who's your I'm going to put you on the spot and say, who's your favorite Limitless wrestler?
Ooh, that's tough. I don't know if I have an outright favorite. I have soft spots for guys like an Ace Romero or an Anthony Green.
Yeah.
Those are two guys who, we're approaching our 4-year anniversary, as you said, next week. And those are two guys who were actually on the very first Limitless show in September 2015, and got to watch them really grow over a 4-year span, not only in Limitless, but in independent wrestling as a whole. So I'd have to go with those two as the front runners.
I'm a retro AG guy. I'm with you on that one, dude. I love AG.
For him against MJF, I assume.
Yeah, definitely. I was a little unhappy when the undefeated streak ended. I'm not gonna lie, but he's back in the cut now, so I'm pretty excited about that matchup. What about you, John? Who's your favorite wrestler? Are you a Limitless guy?
I'm not big on the Limitless.
Oh, you got to get into that,
I know.
man.
I've been out of the wrestling. I should say for a while, but it was big growing up. So like 25 years of wrestling. It's been probably a good 5 or 10 since I really watched it. But I'd say all time I love Ric Flair.
Woo!
Love Ric Flair.
Well, you gotta get into Limitless, dude. You don't know what you're missing. These guys are awesome. I'll be there for Know Your Enemy, that's for sure. So today we're gonna do a little comparison action. We got a piece of the wrestling world with Randy here, and a big piece of the fantasy football world, John, with you and I. We're gonna take those two things and we're gonna blend them together. So we're each gonna take a couple of guys and compare them to our favorite wrestlers out there, and who they compare to in terms of just the type of guy they are, the type of athlete they are. So I'm going to kick it off here, and I'm going to go with Ezekiel Elliott first, and I'll explain to you why I think he's compared to one of the biggest stars in the business right now. So, my opinion, Ezekiel Elliott is the most dominant force in his industry. He's a beast of a man that inflicts fear and intimidation in every defensive line that lines up against him, every defender that he trucks. Zeke is the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, guys. He also happens to be motivated exclusively by money. The more he gets paid, the less he seems to show up for work as well. And I think you guys might see where I'm going with this, but at this time, he wants to be the highest paid guy amongst his peers, much like my pro wrestling comp for him, and he might have to play very little games in order to do so. So if you ask the security guard at the music festival, he also doesn't like people all that much. If I didn't know any better, I'd say his agent or advocate was Paul Heyman. In my opinion, Zeke's comp is Say it with me, John.
Brock Lesnar.
Lesnar.
Is he passing out F5s too at practice?
What do you guys think of that? Brock Lesnar, Ezekiel Elliott?
It's a good comparison.
No, I think very close. I think the points that you make, especially about maybe not liking people and being very monetarily motivated, make a lot of sense for both Zeke and Lesnar.
And they can get away with it, those guys.
They can, because they're the top of the line athletes in what they do. Like I get that. Zeke wants to get paid.
Who do you think would win, Randy? You think Zeke and Brock one-on-one? Let's say in the steel cage, who would win that?
Zeke can run the ball, and he's a beast, man. But like, I don't know if I've never seen him throw a haymaker.
That's true.
I don't know if that chin's gonna break when Brock Lesnar starts throwing haymakers.
Great answer, bro. I love it. John, who do you got? What do you got for comp?
Comp? Okay, so mine is Drew Brees, and the wrestler I'm comping him to is The Undertaker.
Oh, jeez.
So-
not for height purposes, that's for
No,
sure.
not height purposes, but the way they're both competitive. They both play their heart out. The Undertaker's been in wrestling for, over 20 years now. He's a future Hall of Fame wrestler. He's always been at the top. People love him, people hate him. Same with Breeze. You can never count either one of them out. They're beyond competitive.
And they're both old.
Yeah, they're both old. But they're both champions. That's the thing. I mean, I know Breeze has only won one championship, but the thing is, he's always near the top. He has set multiple records, as has Undertaker as well. They both played at caliber, and they're both always true contenders and champion in the sports they do. So I think they are a great comparison to each other.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I can't see Breeze in a Hell in a Cell match, but
No. Or throwing out choke slams, but you can't win them all. No, that's a good one, man. Randy, what do you got for us?
My first one, I've got Jacoby Brissett, who has now landed the starting role in Indianapolis. I'm comparing him with Kofi Kingston.
Oh.
Two very popular locker room figures. They're motivational to the team around them. And I think they're like much a coach or boss favorite, because whatever you want either of them to do, they're going to go do it to the best of their ability. But the real reason that I kind of came across this one is they both have stuck around long enough for their jobs to receive a big opportunity. Kofi is the WWE champion. Jacoby's now the new starter for the Indianapolis Colts. I think that's a very interesting one, and it's kind of interesting because they're both going to be kind of carrying the ball for their respective brands at the same time once the season kicks off in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. I love that.
no, that's a great comp. I mean, honestly, I did not see the Jacoby Brissett comparison coming.
No, I like
No,
that.
I like it. That's what I'm saying.
But right when you said it, I'm like, yeah, dude, I can see that. Well, hopefully Brissett is as accomplished as Kofi when it comes to winning championships, but that's a wait and see.
I think these are two guys who can stick around like their professions for a long time too. Because I'm not sold on Jacoby Brissett as a starter necessarily, but I think he could have one of those long careers like a Josh McCown kind of guy where he sticks around and kind of goes team to team and maybe lands a starting role every now and then. But I could be wrong. He could blow us out of the water this year.
He could be the next Mahomes, but I doubt it.
Well, I don't know about that, but I definitely see him as like a journeyman guy that just is around forever. And who's the guy that used to be the quarterback for the Rams back in the day? I don't remember. Anyway,
I know who you're talking.
it wasn't Warner. It was like
Trent.
I don't know. There's a
me.
million of these guys, and I could definitely see that happening. But like John said, this guy could, and you said too, Randy, this guy could blow us all away. They definitely have the weapons there in Indy for sure. They built a monster squad around Locke, and then he just kind of, as they say in the wrestling industry, took his ball and went home. So it's time for Jacoby to step up.
The big thing is he's got a winnable division too, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything that really stands out to me in that division.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun might disagree with you on that one, but it is right for the pick, and I agree with you.
I mean, Deshaun's one guy. I don't love that Texas team by any means.
No, and every time they make the playoffs, they seem to lose in the first round. So
And that Jacksonville defense got exposed last year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
it's exciting,
competition
and I hope, honestly, it's a really bad situation that's going on over there, and I really hope, for Brissett's sake, that he makes a year of it and really comes of age, just like Kofi did. So we'll see if that happens.
For sure.
All right, guys. So my next one, I know you guys remember Bret Hart. And
The
Owen.
Hitman.
And by the way, Randy, I think you're going to love this one. So I think you guys remember Bret, Owen Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Stu Hart, British Bulldog, the legendary Hart family. We all remember those guys. But there's a lesser known member that is just as talented as all the rest of those guys, but maybe not as well known. And that guy's name is Teddy Hart. And I know you know Teddy, Randy, very well, and I'm sure you like Teddy a lot.
Yeah.
Teddy's crazy though. You'd have a hard time finding a better athlete or showman than Teddy. I can tell you that. And I've met the guy in person. He's actually really nice. But he and my player comp for him have a few interesting similarities. For starters, they are both crazy people. They're a little off the wall. One has full-on conversations with his main love interest, his helmet, and the other wrestles with a cat, Mr. Velvet, perched on the top turnbuckle. True story, by the way. And maybe they don't always show up for bookings or games, as it were, as much as we'd like them to. But I think Teddy's better at that lately, isn't he, Randy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of old wives' tales of mid 2000s.
That is definitely old news. But as crazy and off the wall as both these guys are, when the lights turn on and it's time to perform, they just have no equal. So that's why my comp for Antonio Brown is Teddy Hart. They're a little different, but when it's time to go, those dudes know how to go, and I don't think there's any better. I don't think there's in my opinion, these days, I don't think there's a better independent wrestler than Teddy Hart, and I don't think there's a better wide receiver than Antonio Brown, even though people are hating on him a little bit this year. What do you guys think of that? Randy, what do you think of that?
So I agree with you, and I think one of the main reasons that Antonio Brown gets all the flack that he is because he is someone who is plugged in on social media. He is, under the microscope of Hard Knocks right now as well. So he's got a lot going on with a new team. But like you said, and like, the very minimal clips that we've seen of him, working out and stuff with the Oakland Raiders, Antonio Brown is the best at what he does, regardless of, any news anyone wants to put out there about the helmet situation or whatever it is. When he's on the field, when he's in a game, you want Antonio Brown on your team, whether it's fantasy, whether it's, your favorite football team. He is the best at what he does. And I think Teddy Hart also fits that mold because I think a lot of people still don't see how good Teddy Hart is in the ring.
Yeah, it's not even just what he does in the ring. I mean, at the last Limitless show I was at where Teddy was there, like, that dude just brings the energy, man. Like, the energy in that building in Westbrook, the last time I saw him, was just off the chain, man. Just off the chain. He comes in with his cat, and he's got his brother-in-law with him too, and there's just the energy that him and the entire Hart Foundation, as they call them now, again, it's just incredible. He's the man. Like, and when you talk to that guy, and when you're in his presence, you just know there's something special and different about him. He's fantastic. I love that guy. Teddy Hart's the man.
Me too.
I'm glad that he doesn't work for Vince and he works for you.
Me too, honestly.
So, John, what do you got next, brother?
So, everybody loves Rey Mysterio. He's 6'19", very small, 5'6", I believe, like 180. He might actually be more than that now. His bill's a little bit bigger, I'd say.
I wouldn't mess with him.
No, but Rey Mysterio is very versatile, but he's very competitive. So he's been, a tag team champion, Intercontinental champion, WWE champion. People just don't value his size. He's always taken for the small guy, but he's always been competitive. So my comparison for Rey Mysterio is Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson's 5'9", 207. But the thing we forget about Duke Johnson is that he is in for a full workload this year with the injury to Licorice Lamar. People forget at Miami that Duke Johnson averaged 18.7 yards a carry. Well, Rey Mysterio goes up against Undertaker. So this is a comparison I see as Duke Johnson is always picked on as a small guy, but he's actually a pretty decent-sized guy that can do it all, like Rey Mysterio. He can fly off the turnbuckle. He can... Duke Johnson can catch passes. He can run. He can do it all. That's why he reminds me of Rey Mysterio so much, because he is so versatile in what he does.
And Rey Mysterio's jacked, if you guys...
I think he's bigger than 170. They got him at 5'6", 170. I would say he's probably 5'6", 190 now, if not 2.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And Duke's up to about 210 pounds. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, both those guys just have that true grit, and that underdog mentality. I think Duke Johnson's going to show out this year. I don't know what you think, Randy.
It's like I liked him a lot in Cleveland, and I was. I think they could have really worked the offense start for him. So very excited, and I hope he does get the opportunity to just be the number one and not really have to split with too many people. Or who developed passes on the waiver wire or whatever. But I like this Johnson as a workhorse, and I'm interested to see what he's going to do this year.
Yeah, man. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there. So the spot you were standing in before, go back to that spot. But no, I love Duke Johnson this year. I like Duke, just like Randy said, I liked him in Cleveland. I wish that he had gotten more opportunity there. They always seem to want to talk about giving him more opportunity, but it never really happened. I mean, they were giving Isaiah Crowell more of a workload than him, and that's just insane to me. And Houston went out and got him. They didn't pick him up off the waiver wire because somebody got hurt. This was prior to Licorice Lamar Miller, as we like to call him, getting hurt. And they went out and got him, so I think that's encouraging. I think he could be David Johnson light this year. Randy, what do you got for your?
Great athlete.
Yeah, he is, man. I love Duke Johnson. What do you got up next, Randy, for us?
My last one is overlooked brand. Got both of them are very beneficial to have in the team. So to speak, Frank Gore, and Frank Gore is just one.
Hey, Randy. We got some.
Still producing. I think he had still 700 some yards last season, and he's former.
Hey, Randy, can you hear me? Randy, can you hear me? You're cutting in and out, brother. Randy, can you hear me? Randy, are you? Can you hear me, dude? All right, I think we got a bad connection with Randy right now. I don't know if he can still hear me.
It could be the rain. The rain's coming in.
Is it rain, John? Does rain create a bad connection?
Yeah, it can.
I can kind of hear you. You're coming in and out, Randy, man.
Storm went in, so I think my.
Did you just get hit? Did somebody hit you with a steel chair from behind by chance? Because if somebody's hit you with a steel chair from behind, that would actually be pretty cool. I think I can hear you. I think we're back.
Okay.
Oh, perfect, man. I like it.
Don't move.
Sorry about that, dude. Just start all over again.
Yeah, good?
I think we got you, yep.
Okay. I had Dolph Ziggler paired to Frank Gore.
Oh.
And the reason being is I think these two are a couple workhorses who don't get a ton of credit that you deserve. Dolph Ziggler, guy's been busting his butt for WWE for quite some time. He's had some high spots, the former World Heavyweight Champion, a former Intercontinental Champion, but he's not, someone who's going to be on the top of the list for when he's looking at the roster, top to bottom. I think Frank Gore fits into that pretty well because I think Frank Gore, for quite some time now, he's like 38 years old now, has been a pretty premier back in the league and not really given enough credit for that. He's had a ton of 1,000-plus yard seasons. I think 5 Pro Bowl seasons plus a World Championship with the 49ers. So I think these two can do it quite well, just being workhorses who are kind of overlooked in their profession.
I love that, dude.
That's good. That's a great comparison.
I love that. I also would compare Frank Gore to Ric Flair because he's eternal. He's never.
He doesn't seem to die.
It seems like he's never going to go away, and I'm fine with that. He's a I think he had like 700-something yards last year, and everybody thought he wasn't going to make a good season. So.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
To see what he does this year.
That's why we on the show we call him Frank the Tank, and that's why because he just keeps steamrolling, man. Cool, that's awesome. Well, Randy, you want to talk about the show at all coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure when this drops, but Friday, September 6th, Limitless Wrestling is going to return to Portland Expo debuting at the Expo. This is the first time we've had kind of an arena show of this magnitude. I think the biggest show that we had previous to this is 600 fans, but we're looking at upwards of 1,000 for Friday, September 6th. We got the main event, MJF, All Elite Wrestling Star, defends the Limitless Wrestling World Championship against the All-Star retrospectable Anthony Green. Ace Romero goes one-on-one with Dan Moss. We've got your boy Teddy Hart returning with Davey Boy Smith Jr. They're going to go on to the Workhorsemen in tag team action. We've got a tag team street fight. The Mainstay Posse collide with Alexander Lee and Brandon Kirk. We've got a six-way scramble. We've got JT Dunn versus Kevin Blackwood. That's unreleased, so that's news on the show here today.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Nice.
Ton of stuff coming, as well as Ashley Voss and Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander puts your Limitless career on the line against Jeremy Leary and Skyler with Leary's hair on the line. So somebody's going to be losing something in that tag team match. Tickets are still available on limitlesswrestling.com, just $15. So if you want to check it out, this is definitely the show to start with.
That's awesome, man. I will certainly be there. I'm hoping John comes to his senses and rolls in. I don't know if you're working or not, John. We have real jobs, so we can't always hit everything, but I don't miss Limitless if I can avoid it. You got a great product there, Randy. I am 38 years old, and what you have done at your age, what are you, 21 now?
22.
Wow.
22 years old, and this guy has the best, in my humble opinion, the best independent wrestling company in the country. I mean, to see
Thank you very much.
yeah, no, man, to see the level of talent that you bring, I don't even know how you do it, man. I don't know how you do it. Like, we're talking guys that are on the WWE network, you know, with these Evolve guys. We're talking guys that are going to be on TNT in the fall. That's the level of talent that you bring. And, you know I work with a lot of guys that are big wrestling fans, and thank you for bringing independent wrestling back to Maine for reals. And you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work, and you did a great job today, man. Hopefully we can get you back on and we can talk more fantasy football and a little bit of wrestling too.
The day after, for what? Back on.
All right, sounds good, brother.
Okay.
You have a good night, and
Thanks, man.
We'll see you on the 6th.
Thank you. See you then.
Take care, Randy. That was pretty exciting, huh, John?
I love this comparisons. He actually went very in depth with them, and I liked him a lot.
Yeah, and I like that we can get local folks that have local entertainment that they do, that they can hook up with us, and we can network with those guys. It's really exciting for us. And honestly, Randy's very busy right now. He's got a wrestling school. He's got probably the biggest event in his company's history coming up, and he was kind enough to spend some time with us. So I mean, he's doing us a solid. So hopefully the event goes off without a hitch. I'm sure it will. He's run very good shows for a long time now, so we're happy to have him on. Hopefully we can have him on again. I think he did a great job, and we can just we don't have to talk wrestling necessarily. We won't have to theme the show. We'll just talk fantasy football and see how good he is. If he can keep up with us.
Can I take a steel chair to him?
I'm sure he can. No, I don't think so. I don't know if you've met Randy, but he probably would destroy you.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So it'd be Rey Mysterio versus Big Show. I'd get creamed.
He's a gentle giant. So no, that was awesome. Hopefully we can get some more guests just like Randy on. If you guys are interested in talking fantasy football, and you got some local entertainment, local businesses that you want to talk about, we're straight out of Maine up here, and we love to work with you guys. So John, now let's get into the news.
Okay, so news. We'll start off. I'm
representing my Limitless shirt.
Nice.
By the way, you can get these. You can get these at the show.
So not a lot news as of the moment, but I would say after tomorrow, after the last preseason game, news is going to explode. So stay tuned. But I'm going to go over a few things here.
Cut day coming.
Cut day. Well, some cuts have already started. Cut day. The biggest day will be Friday, and there's potential trades being talked about that we can elaborate on with the news. But first set of news, Sterling Shepard is good to go for week 1.
I don't like that because John's going to be starting him in his flex against me.
Yeah.
I would think that Shepard is due for a heavy target load for week 1 or week 1 through 4 with Golden Tate not in the mix. And obviously if you have Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram, definitely fire him up. But I'm a little nervous going against you with Sterling Shepard out there. I think he's going to catch a lot of passes, and in PBR leagues, he's going to be definitely a good starter.
Shepard's a wild card that week, and
unless he re-injures his.
no, it's not the injury I'm worried about.
It?
It's the Cowboys secondary I'm worried about. They're finally getting back.
No, they're legit now.
Yeah, they're legit. Their linebacking core is legit. Their whole defense is legit. Remember last year they were one of the top defenses the second half of the year.
And we think Eli Manning's starting. He probably will. I would assume.
I can't even pronounce his name, but Adobe or whatever his name is. I can never pronounce his last name.
You can't pronounce somebody's name?
No, this one's.
I mean, that's unheard of.
He's back. Byron Jones is back. They've got a lot of people back from injury. This defense will be ready to go week 1, and that's the part that scares me. Is Shepard going to put up 3 catches for 30 yards, or because he's in a prime opportunity, get at least 7 to 10 targets, if not more, that first week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think you're going to see a run-heavy offense, and if Elliott's not playing for Dallas, which I know we'll touch on that, I don't think he's going to be week 1, but that they're not going to be as potent. So I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. And Giants-Cowboys is always close.
It's a divisional rivalry. Yeah. It's been around forever. Or it could be lopsided. I mean, it's week 1. Never know what to expect. I think a lot of it's going to hinge on if Elliott does come back, like you said, which we can elaborate about Elliott if you want right now.
Yeah, so I don't know what you've got there, but I know I actually read some stuff today about Jerry Jones saying I'd rather have him in the playoffs and have him fresh for the playoffs, and that he doesn't mind, waiting until whenever for Zeke to sign. But then you got Stephen Jones saying that he's confident they're going to sign him before the season starts. My opinion on the Ezekiel Elliott situation, and it is exactly why I drafted Tony Pollard, is I don't expect Ezekiel Elliott to be on the field until week 4 at best. That's my opinion. I don't know where you stand on that.
That's about right. I'd say I was guessing like week 3. I think I know an offer has been made to make him the second highest running back in the league. I don't think that's what Ezekiel Elliott wants. I think this is going to go on into the regular season.
He wants to be the highest paid, and that's probably more ego-driven than money-driven, and as is the case with a lot of these guys. And, I joked about Zeke and the Brock Lesnar comp, but it's kind of true. I mean, he's definitely motivated by money. If he was motivated by winning and competing for a championship, he'd be out there. I think the money would come regardless, and I still love Ezekiel Elliott to death, but he's in this for the long haul, and the difference between him and Bell, we always go to that Bell situation, is that Bell wasn't technically under contract with Pittsburgh when he held out because he hadn't signed his tender.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the same with Gordon as well. They're both under contract.
Yeah, or his franchise tender. Yeah, he hadn't signed that, so he doesn't have as much leverage, but I don't know. Zeke's a crazy man, dude. I just don't see him bending until he gets the money that he wants. It stinks because, obviously he's one of the funnest guys to watch out there on the field, but Tony Pollard's there too, and if you're smart and you drafted Zeke, I hope you drafted Tony Pollard.
Handcuffed him.
Yep.
I also think that Zeke is also trying to leverage this himself. This is my opinion. Obviously, it's not anywhere stated. I think he's not going to sign that contract, like I said, till like week 3. And I think the reason why is if they're without him the first few weeks, he's going to call their bluff and say, hey, you guys think Pollard's the man? Let him show it. And if they lose a couple games, maybe the Cowboys will give in and give him that contract. I think that's what he's thinking too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the guy's phenomenal. I mean, great comparison to Lesnar too. I like it.
Yeah, but when you're, as I always say, if you're not there, you're not productive. So hopefully you guys got an insurance policy if you drafted Zeke. What else you got, John?
Okay, so this is not really injury news, but it's fantasy news. Ryan Tannehill outshined Marcus Mariota again. So I think Mariota's going to be on a short leash as it comes into the regular season.
So I get mad when I hear about Marcus Mariota because he's not on a short leash because he shouldn't even be the starting quarterback this year. He shouldn't have been the starting quarterback last year. Like, this guy's leash is so long that you can't even see him anymore.
Yeah, but
where is he?
They invested a high pick into him, and
but how long do you hang your hat on that?
No, I get that. Same thing with Manziel and all them. I mean, that's the thing.
But Manziel, that was
he did it for himself. Yeah.
But like with Mariota, You know, and you look at guys like Corey Davis, and you look at guys like A.J. Brown, and they're so talented. And is Mariota the reason that Henry's been held back throughout his career? I don't necessarily think so, but you just look at that team and that offense, and all these guys, their upside is brought way down because their quarterback stinks, and everybody knows it except for the Tennessee Titans. I don't understand this. Do you think Bill Belichick would have rode Marcus Mariota? What year was he drafted?
Mariota?
Yeah.
I think 3 years ago, I believe, or 4.
And he stunk ever since, and he flashed in his rookie year. He's always hurt. Come on, man. Just cut. I would cut him. I would cut the guy. Because he's still in his rookie deal, so it's not like you're paying him a ton of money. And Ryan, let me just put this into perspective for everybody. Ryan flippin' Tannehill is outperforming him right now. And Ryan Tannehill is just a Miami version of Marcus Mariota.
I think once they figure out their offense, their defense is actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
Their defense is good, and the defense is the only thing that kept them in games last year.
There was games last year they were winning 10-6 because of the defense, or 10-7. Their defense kept them in a lot of games. So if they put this offense together,
you look at T.Y. Hilton, okay? T.Y. Hilton is good, but he's only as good as his quarterback, okay? And you know what? It appears that Corey Davis is one of those guys. But man, if Corey Davis had an Andrew Luck, he would be outstanding. He'd be a wide receiver 1, I think, just based on his talent alone. But when your noodle arm, noodle brain quarterback can't get you the ball in a 3-foot radius, it's like, Mariota just ticks me off. They need to cut their losses with this guy. Roll with Tannehill, have a losing record, and hopefully draft a good quarterback next year. Go away, Marcus Mariota.
Speaking of another quarterback, Cam Newton has resumed practicing. He's off to the side throwing, but it looks like he'll be good to go week 1. I know a little bit of a scare against the Pats with a minor ankle sprain. I'm not going to say it was a big ankle sprain, but it looks like he should be ready to go week 1.
I love Cam Newton. I think people are going to get, when they drafted him, I'm not sure what his ADP is, I can look that up, but he's going to be a great value because you can get a Cam Newton, several rounds later, but
I think
rounds later than you would get a Deshaun Watson.
His ADP dropped a lot, especially in the offseason, because of that surgery, the speculation of how good he would be able to throw. As far as I know, he's making 50-yard throws with ease, just like he was before this, before he got injured and before this surgery. So it looks like, to me, all the rust is shaken off. I mean, I know it's preseason, but wait and see. But I know people doubted that he wouldn't be able to throw as far, and he has been in practice. So, and the emergence of Curtis Samuel, he may be the number 1 there, the way he's been playing in preseason. And then you got DJ Moore. I mean, Olsen's back, a lot of weapons. Cam could be primed for a big season this year.
Well, Deshaun Watson's a 4th-round ADP. Cam Newton's an 8th-round ADP. So, I mean, you can stack your team with skill positions and get Cam Newton in the 8th round. And you had mentioned, people are nervous about injuries and stuff like that. Well, yeah, and sometimes that makes somebody a better value with a Cam Newton, and sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot with an Andrew Luck, but I don't think I ever saw anything surrounding Cam that indicated he was going to miss a significant amount of time or be that much hindered by the injury. So 8th round Cam Newton could be a league winner type of scenario. I love Cam Newton. And like you said, I love Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. And I know those are sexy names right now, but they are for a reason. I mean, those guys are yards after the catch monsters, and they're young guys, and they're very, very talented. I think that offense combined with, of course, Christian McCaffrey, who needs a tight end when you have those 3 guys? Would you agree with that?
They got the weapons. I mean, I think they have a lot of weapons this year. It could be a team that's just, like I said, they're just going to be, I'm saying, they're not going to be respected. I mean, that's the thing. With all the weapons back, I mean, I think Cam could have I don't want to say an MVP season, but could definitely be a top 5 season for him if he returns back to form.
Yeah, I love Cam Newton this year.
So, in other news, Kenyon Drake has returned back to practice. So Mr. Balaj takes a little bit of a hit here, but at the same time, Drake's never been utilized, I think, that in Miami.
Well,
but there's also...
he may not be.
Yeah, there's also rumors tied to that.
Right.
Kenyon Drake, and one of the rumors is possibly Javad Clowney going to...
Jadeveon Clowney.
Going to Miami for Kenyon Drake and Larry Tunsil.
Laramie Tunsil. Sorry, it's starting to become a game at this point. So, Kenyon Drake is involved in a lot of trade talk right now. I don't know. They want Clowney badly, obviously, in Miami, and they're starting to indicate that. But if you're Houston, you have a better running back than Kenyon Drake already. I mean, we've kind of established it with Duke Johnson. I mean, go for it if they want to. And I don't know why they're so eager to get rid of Clowney. I mean, they have a team, and we kind of joked about it, and, you know, Randy kind of indicated he wasn't very high on Houston, but they do have a team that could contend this year. So why would you get rid of arguably your best defensive player?
I think they have depth, and they don't. The chips. I mean, I shouldn't say the chips are in their hand. I don't think they want to pay Clowney the money. You got to remember Clowney missed.
But they don't have to yet.
Clowney missed a significant amount of games because of injury. His first couple of years.
I just think you can go get a Jay Ajayi off the waiver wire.
Yeah, as a free agent.
I say the waiver wire. Sorry, I'm fantasy focused.
I don't know if they're just going after. I don't think they're necessarily going for Drake to be the starter. I think they're going for Drake as
to depth. Yeah, I get the depth thing. But
their bench is very concerning. Crockett. I mean, none of these guys really, jump off the page for you as backups, and I don't even know if any of them could do the change of base back. I mean, they don't want to bury Duke Johnson into the ground. He's on. What's he going to get, like 450 touches this year if they don't get somebody?
The thing that's weird to me is, like, there's something wrong with Kenyon Drake, because Miami just does not want to commit to this guy. And every time, like, he's a home run hitter, like, he's an electric player, but and it's a new coaching staff this year, so I thought he'd have a fresh start. It looks like Kalen Balaj is outperforming him, and he's expendable. So, Kalen Balaj, I mean, talk about him. Is he somebody that, he's a great value in drafts. Is he going to be the lead back there? Is that the tea leaves? Am I reading the tea leaves correctly?
As of right now, if you're reading all the reports, the news out of training camp, he's the one that's actually been outperforming Drake. And as of right now, it looks like he's got the starting job. Is that solidified? Don't know. I mean, it's all going to depend on how this last game of the preseason could be a good indication of how the roles are going to go. I mean, if Balaj outtouches Drake like 2-1, it's pretty much going to be clear. But we could also see a trade as of Friday, too, or Saturday.
I'm starting to warm up to Balaj, man. Dude, 6'2", 231.
Oh, he's a beast.
He's a rock, and he's got an ADP. He's going in the 11th, 12th round. So I know a lot of drafts. This past weekend was, I believe, the biggest weekend for fantasy football drafts in terms of the volume of them. A lot of you guys have not drafted yet. I would definitely look at Kalen Balaj as a huge value if you're drafting this weekend.
Agreed. I mean, I took him in 2 leagues, I believe. So,
where's Jake, by the way?
He's MIA.
Is he okay?
I think he's on daddy duty. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Wife duty.
So I think he's. Sorry, I think he is still mourning over.
I think he's we had the power rankings come out for our.
Oh, he was so salty about that.
Keeper league, and I think he's a little embarrassed as to where he landed on that. He was right in the cushy middle.
Was he 7th, I believe?
He was 7th out of 12. And,
wait a minute.
And he had been telling us how great his team was ever since the draft, because you guys know Jake's not exactly modest. I was number 1, just in case anybody was wondering. And John, who was the worst bench in the history of fantasy football because he traded all his assets to get Saquon Barkley, which I don't blame you.
Yeah. It's a
ranked it not only just ahead of him, a few spots.
Number 4.
So Jake is in power ranking.
Morning.
Well, yes, morning. He's in the morning. Sorry, I lost the word there.
So
thanks for catching it.
Yeah. I think honestly, I mean, I got some sleepers that I'm taking a chance on, but they could work out.
And Jake is really, really trying to get DJ off you, David Johnson.
Oh yeah, he's offering the table right now.
I would not take any of the offers that you have told me that he's offered you.
So as of right now, no. So, I mean, I picked up people like Whiteside. I can't even... Is it Dare, with the guy from the box? I can't even pronounce the guy's last.
Dare, I believe is how you pronounce it. And don't even...
his last name.
I'm not even going to try his
Unga Bawale, something like that.
Well, you spent money on him, fab money on him.
And right now, that's some
What
news
did you
too.
spend, like $10?
$10.
I was like, $10 on Ooga
That's
Booga?
5%. That's nothing. 5% of my fab money.
You could have got him for less than that.
But Bruce Arians has announced, this is news, so it's kind of, you got tied into it, has announced he will ride the hot hand week 1.
Where's the hot... Has anybody seen the hot hand in Tampa Bay?
It hasn't been Ronald Jones, and it hasn't been Peyton Barber.
Is there one?
Right now it'd be Dare.
Dare.
Or
Ooga Booga.
Yeah, Ooga Booga. So,
the Boogeyman.
Actually...
that's his new nickname, the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. So, I like that,
He's
actually.
coming to get you.
So, the Boogeyman, actually, in preseason, has had the best pass protection out of the 3 backs. He's been the most utilized.
He looks like the pass-catching option right now.
He's the 3rd down option as the pass-catching option.
Maybe it's under the desk. Is the hot hand under the desk?
So, he could be a sneaky pickup for me. But, I mean, right now...
Oh, my coffee's under the desk.
There is nobody committed, it sounds like, with Tampa Bay. It sounds like they're going to roll Barber and Jones as the 1-2 punch for running downs. And the Boogeyman will have passing downs.
And he's coming to get you.
So, but if the Boogeyman keeps playing the way he does, you can see more playing time. His name was announced more than the other 2.
I would say the Boogeyman has a really good shot to outperform Peyton Barber, Mr. Under 3 yards per carry last year? He's
2.6 or
I don't know what it was. It was trash. And the smallish running back that can't catch passes, Ronald Jones. I think he's got as good a chance as any to outperform those guys. So you might be onto something there.
And another thing with Boogeyman. Boogeyman, I can't stop to laugh at that. But if you guys remember, Bruce Arians, when he coached at Arizona, David Johnson was very successful with pass catching from Arians.
We just got to be careful with the next David Johnson thing.
I'm not saying David Johnson. I'm not saying he's
tight ends didn't catch passes in Arizona either, but I think O.J. Howard's.
But I'm saying the running backs did see quite a few balls, and if that's the case, then the Boogeyman will be there.
Boogeyman's coming for those balls.
Boogeyman's coming for you. So... in other news, Odell Beckham has returned to practice, as well as Julio. Nothing big here, guys, reporting they just had minor injuries.
I love
Teams
Julio.
just trying to get him 100%.
I offered O.J. Howard and Kenny Golladay for Julio Jones. Is that a fair trade?
Who is it now? Kenny Golladay?
O.J. Howard and Kenny Golladay for Julio Jones. To Dan, who just lost T.Y. Hilton. Let's face it, he lost T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton might as well be on IR.
T.Y. dropped from a wide receiver 2, or low wide receiver 1 to a wide receiver 3, if not a wide receiver 4. T.Y. Hilton's worst year was with Brissett.
Yeah.
So he just
Hey,
plummeted.
hold on. He could be the Kofi. He could.
Well, he did dedicate the season to his brother, Andrew Luck. That's what he said.
Oh, that was T.Y. I'm talking about Jacoby.
So...
I'm referring to Randy's comp. Come on, keep up with me. But it's going to be interesting.
It should be very interesting. Other news too, Noah Fant returns to practice, Anthony Miller returns to practice. This is some good news if you are high on David Moore. His shoulder,
wait a minute, is that a good trade offer?
It depends. If you think that Golladay is primed for a big season, O.J. Howard, I definitely like this season. Golladay scares me in the fact that team is, they say they're not going to throw to Hawkinson, then they're throwing to Hawkinson. So I got to see something out of that team first, but I think Kenny's going to get the targets. I don't think it's a bad trade. Who else does he have at tight end? It could be the thing.
Who?
Dan,
he's got, Travis Kelce.
Well, that's why he might not be high on the Howard part.
But hey, I have George Kittle, and...
I could see maybe he doesn't want to give up Julio for Kenny Golladay, because he doesn't really need Howard.
Well, yeah, but so what I'm going to keep going on this.
I'm not saying it's a bad trade.
What concerns you about Kenny Golladay?
Just not even Matt Patricia, it's the offense as of right now. It's preseason. I think Kenny Galladay's got a safe floor. He's only going to see more targets, I think. But is that Julio caliber though?
No, but you're getting potentially a wide receiver, a potential wide receiver one. Okay, there, I said it, man.
Yeah, he's a potential wide receiver one. I agree with that.
And the potential tight end one overall. There, I said it, man. I'm not afraid. Come at me, bro.
I don't think it's a bad deal. I just think he's probably doesn't want him because he already has Kelsey, and Howard will only be maybe a flex spot for him. I don't know how the rest of his team looks.
I might want to keep Kenny Golladay because every time I hear his name, I think of the Madonna song "Holiday."
Golladay.
Yeah, Golladay.
You just wanted to go. Golladay, Golladay.
Oh, that was bad. Celebrate. Let's celebrate it.
Golladay.
Celebrate a Golladay touchdown.
Golladay.
No?
Yeah, I think it was good. That was actually good.
Okay, that's good.
So,
we're rolling with that. Golladay. Gotta work on that.
So David Moore won't go to IR. And supposedly, I guess, it looks like DK Metcalf is ready to go week 1.
But when is David Moore going to be ready? Because he's a sleeper for me, man. At least he was until he got hurt.
The speculation right now, they're hoping to have him back by week 3 or 4. That's the speculation. Could be sooner. Depends how rehab goes. But they're not putting on IRs, which is great, I think.
Yeah.
But he is a very good sleeper there. Depending on how Metcalf does. But I guess they're calling just Metcalf a machine. He just had surgery. He's already doing sprints.
I like Metcalf.
So that guy has got a huge ceiling this year.
Yeah, he does.
Very high risk, but very high reward if he goes off.
If he's good, though, Tyler Lockett going downhill, man. Because they're very similar type of guys. Not similar type of guys, but I think he would eat into Lockett's workload more than he would like a David Moore. Who's the other guy they got in there? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's Russell Wilson. I'll throw it to somebody.
Yeah.
So Cowboys coach Jason Garrett said Amari Cooper is on schedule for week 1. So the foot thing is, I guess, a minor strain, but I don't know. Plantar fascia, it lingers. It's not something that, you know.
I heard somewhere that Cooper played with this
in college. I did read the same thing.
And in his rookie year. So I mean, he kind of no big dealed it when they asked him about it. He's like, yeah, I'll be fine. But who knows? He needs to perform this year. I think he's in a contract year, and I know Dallas wants to pay him. I don't know where they're getting all this money because they want to pay Dak, they want to pay Zeke, they want to pay Cooper. You guys don't need to pay Zach. You just need Zeke and to a lesser extent Cooper. But yeah, this is definitely encouraging news for Amari Cooper owners.
Yep. So. Other encouraging news, if you're an AJ Green owner, week 3 is the best case scenario for him to return. So that's actually way ahead of than I thought he would be returning.
I think that's a very ambitious statement by whomever made that. I do not think you're going to see AJ Green by week 3. For my son Andrew's sake, I hope that you do because he's a big Bengals fan. But AJ's never been the type of guy that seems to come back quick. He's the IR kingpin. Like, it seems like we have issues with AJ, and especially, what is his ailment this time? I've lost track.
I believe it was...
It's like a foot or something like that.
That was a really bad sprain.
I can't keep up with this guy.
No.
He's always hurt, he's always out, so I definitely wouldn't expect him by week 3.
I think age is finally catching up to him.
He's not even that old. Well, he's like 30.
31, I believe.
Yeah.
So...
AB's feet were frozen, and he's out there, dude. He's ready to go. Come on, man. Step your game up.
So Dante Pettis dealing with a minor groin issue.
Because they played him the whole preseason game. Like, what was that all about?
I think you're hearing rumblings about Pettis that he's not going to start. He's like behind on the depth chart. I don't think so. I don't know. This might be a mix of reporters reporting stuff. I don't think Shanahan's going to take his best receiver and just drop him out of nowhere. I mean, I could be wrong. I think he's just trying to build confidence in Pettis and make him work harder to earn that position and stay in that position. But, I mean, there's been so much news on Pettis not going to start. He's going to be the wide receiver. I mean, there's been so much, like, reporter news. I wouldn't read too much into it. He's still the number 1 guy there.
Yeah, man, and his ADP was up there not long ago, and it's just plummeting.
I mean, there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent there. Hurd, Samuel.
Well, and Goodwin's starting to get some love now.
Yeah.
So who said that? I said that. I said who's the one guy that has actual proven chemistry with Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's Marquise Goodwin, and And that team has an easy schedule for wide receivers, the third easiest schedule for wide receivers. So whoever it is gonna pop and be a great value. We just don't know who it is right now.
Yeah. So this is not really like so fantasy relevant as it relates to this guy, but it does affect the team. What do you think of David Andrews possibly missing the whole season for the Patriots? He's their anchor at center.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be fine. They're always fine.
Yeah, I think so too, but I mean, some people got worried with this. I don't know. I don't think he's going to play. He's got blood clots. It's a concerning thing.
Yeah.
But Patriots have always done well with, the second teamers usually, so that it's, I'm not too worried about it.
And the referees have their back. And,
So...
And they'll bug somebody's locker. They'll be fine. That team will be fine.
So, Kiki, do you hate me?
Kiki,
This guy...
Is it not Kiki, do you love me
It
anymore?
used to be you love me, but this guy cannot stay healthy. But he's back at practice, but for how long is my question.
I'm off him. I have him on my Dynasty League team, and I don't know, man. I don't know if I can cling on to him anymore. I might cut him live.
Well, there's also rumors...
Here we go. You ready for this, man? I'm cutting Kiki QT live.
Oh, wow.
You can continue. Let me see what's out there first.
QT, I think, this is another thing, another possible trade rumor. They're possibly thinking about trading for Clowney, for a receiver. I know Eagles are also another spot they're targeting.
Who is this? Sorry, I'm too busy trying to cut Kiki QT.
Texans possibly trading Clowney for a receiver.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Just to give depth, because, I mean, you have Fuller, who's never played a full season yet. You got QT, who hasn't played a full season. They just want that other elite receiver, not elite receiver, but it's someone else to take some pressure off of Hopkins. So, I mean, Hopkins did it anyways, and I still think he can do it, but wait and see. But that's another rumor going around.
I mean, there's nobody on the waiver wire. I'm not cutting him. I love Will Fuller, but yeah, I've heard we talked about Alshon Jeffrey potentially being. I don't know. There was this big rumor that a big name wide receiver was in talks to be traded, and it might have been. I don't know if Alshon's still a big name, but if they got an Alshon Jeffrey with a Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins, that'd be lethal.
There was talk about Jeffrey just because his salary as it relates to next year goes up. So I don't know if there's something that Texans just want to take a stab at and just get him for a year and then go from there. But wait and see. Take a break.
Right.
Want to take a quick break?
Well, I mean, so yeah, you pause for a second.
Okay. Hey, we're back.
Did we even leave?
Not really. Okay. So, speaking of leaving, but he might be coming back. What do you think about Rob?
Jake?
Jake's come back. What? Rob Gronkowski doesn't rule out a comeback.
First of all, does he own a weed company now or
CBD
something?
company, yes.
What is CBD? Help me out on that.
It's like
I'm not a smart man.
It's basically like...
If you don't know, just tell me.
No, it's like THC in pill form. It's.
Oh, so like Brady's thing, basically.
Yeah, but Brady doesn't do it, I guess they said.
He does steroids, though. It's the same thing. So anyway, that Gronk... people are telling me, I had somebody at work today say, should I drafted Gronk to stash him? I guess, but how long are you stashing him for is the question. Are you going to burn a roster spot for...
He's not, this is my opinion, he's not worth a roster spot, and I'll say this why. The speculation, if he does play, would be the playoffs. Yeah. It wouldn't be long. You guys got to
or the end of the season.
If he's using these products, he'll test positive and then get suspended. So
wait for the guy that drafted him to cut him, and then you can pick him up for your playoff stretch if you're so inclined. But this is just I think, John, the Kareem Hunt type of situation. You don't draft Kareem Hunt. You wait for somebody to cut him.
Yep.
Because the guy that drafted him isn't going to be using him for 10 weeks, and he's going to need that roster spot for a bye-week fill-in.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to come back. I just don't think he comes back.
I think he will, actually. Yeah, I mean...
My speculation, like you said, would be the fantasy playoffs would be a perfect time. I think he comes back. It depends on the record, though, too. If they're crushing it, they may just pick him up near the end of the season and make a ride for the playoffs. So
it's not unheard of for guys that have retired to come back, especially guys that retire in the off season when they're supposed to, not 2 weeks before the season starts. So it could definitely happen. But that's why, week 8, go grab him off the waiver wire. Don't draft him.
Other news. I was wrong about this. I gave you
unless you have a really deep bench.
Yeah, I gave you the wrong name the other day. It was Deshaun Jackson who broke his finger, but he's unlikely to miss time.
Who did you give me?
I told you Ashlon Jeffrey, I thought broke his finger.
Alshon. It's the freaking... You're the news guy, man. You got. What are you doing? You got to get this stuff right.
No, but this wasn't...
Don't make me have Jake lecture you again.
No, this wasn't something I posted. It was something I talked to you on the phone.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not as big of a deal.
Exactly.
All
So,
right.
Deshaun Jackson broke his left ring finger
And
in
you
Tuesday's
said
practice.
potential IR?
No.
Okay.
They're saying that he's going to be good to go. I guess he's being fitted for like a splint for his hand, and that he's not going to miss time.
Deshaun Jackson's an OG, man. Like, I wish 90% of the guys had the toughness that
I don't know.
Deshaun Jackson
I
has.
think my thing is going to limit how many plays he's out there for, though.
I'm telling you, though, and you guys can look this stat up, quarterbacks that play with Deshaun Jackson are more efficient, significantly more efficient when he's on the field. So I think Deshaun Jackson may not be a huge fantasy asset in and of himself, but for Carson Wentz, he's going to be really helpful. And I think you're going to see, especially when Jackson's out there on the field, you're going to see Carson Wentz that much more efficient and that much better because it's been proven. I mean, it's happened throughout Jackson's career. So hopefully for Carson Wentz's sake, he'll be out there.
Okay, wait and see. Jerick McKinnon comes back to practice, then
Go away.
suffers a setback.
Yes, thank you for going away.
Like I
because-
said before, it looks like he's headed to IR and released the burrito.
Yeah, got that burrito, just this giant burrito, just ready to go, ready to roll out.
Supersized burrito.
Yeah, Taco Bell has nothing on the biggest, most powerful burrito on the planet, and that's Matt Burrito, as we like to call him. I was really, when I read the Jerick McKinnon news, it kind of, they had trickled it out. It looked like he wasn't going to go on IR. It looked initially like he was, and then it kind of came around that it was looking like he wasn't. And I'm like, come on, just please no. And then now he's practicing. I'm like, oh, great. I still don't think he's going to overtake McKinnon or Coleman. Burrito or Coleman, but it's still really annoying. And then I saw that there was an inevitable setback for Jerick McKinnon, and I was back to being perfectly fine.
Yep.
And Matt Burrito is going to be the steal of the draft this year.
So the Golden Gate burrito is going to, his value goes up a lot with this.
Yeah.
You like that? The Golden Gate burrito?
It's fine, as Jake would say.
So
We'll workshop that.
McKinnon, I think I want to say, he goes on IR, he's back week 8. By then he's irrelevant. By then Breida and Coleman will already solidify the 1-2 or 2. You know what I'm saying? When I say 1-2, I didn't say Coleman. It could be Breida may have run away with this job.
It's Burrito, man. I'm telling you guys, it's a lock. Matt Burrito, go get him.
He looks fantastic.
If you haven't drafted
in
him already.
preseason, and this is just preseason, guys.
He's just the best running back they have. He's the most talented running back they have. If
he stays healthy.
Exactly. That's always the concern, but so far so good. Knock on wood.
And I would say, other than that, pretty much that's the news. I mean,
Okay.
there's going to be a ton in the next few days. Last preseason game, last of preseason is this week. You'll see a ton of cuts. I think you may even see a few trades. Wait and see, though. There's grumblings everywhere. I mean, Osweiler is visiting the Colts. I mean, that's nothing. There's nothing to Jacoby.
Yeah.
They're just trying to sign depth. But I'm interested to see where Clowney goes, possibly Drake. There's a lot of what ifs right now.
So I have some exciting news for you. I'm bringing back a popular episode for Sunday. It's a present to you and Jake if he shows up for work. We're bringing back Would You Rather.
Oh, I love that. Was a great episode.
And we're also bringing back the lightning round.
Ooh, nice.
So that'll be Sunday's taping for Monday's episode. Again, thank you very much. Randy, you were a great guest. And Limitless, again, is coming up on the 6th on Friday at the Portland Expo. It is going to be awesome. I'm telling you guys, even if you don't like pro wrestling, it's just fun. It's a fun atmosphere. It's kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The fans there are incredible, and the energy there is incredible. So if you're looking for something to do on Friday night that's different and unique, even if you're not a pro wrestling guy or an indie wrestling guy or gal, check out Limitless. I think you'll enjoy it. They got beer there too. So are you going? Have I convinced you yet, John?
I'm not saying no yet. Right? I just gotta wait and
I
see.
can look at my schedule.
No, well, I gotta see if I'm working. It's not a no. It's not a yes either. But
Well, that's why. Yeah, we get full-time jobs. That's why we're the working class
no,
podcast.
I mean,
so.
you know me. I loved wrestling. It's just been a while since I watched it. I mean, I went to Royal Rumble. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I've gone to a ton of things. I mean, back in the day, I went to quite a few shows. I actually still got pictures and I believe tickets still signed. I saw, Big Show. I've seen Mark Henry, met Shane McMahon. I mean, I've met The Rock. So it's been, actually met Lesnar. He's not a fun guy.
No?
Now, Kurt Angle's pretty cool in person, though. Same with The Rock.
Is he? Okay.
So, but yeah, no, I'd definitely love to go to the show. Let's see if maybe we can clear the schedule and go.
Yeah, so again, thanks Randy Carver for joining us. Congratulations on debuting at the Expo, and we wish you good luck, and we would love to have you back, hopefully in person next time. Might be able to avoid some of the technical difficulties, but a great segment. Randy did a great job, and we look forward to having you back. So for John and Jake, whenever he comes back, I'm DJ. We are the Working Class Podcast. We are the Blue Collar Ballers, and we'll see you next time with Would You Rather.
See you guys soon.
Peace.